We often see advertising as something used to sell products, like a new car, a smartphone, or fast food. But in today's world, advertising does so much more. It can build political empires, elevate leaders to godlike status, and at the same time, it can be the very tool that destroys them. Today, we'll explore how advertising has helped build political dynasties, only for them to crumble when the promises don't align with the reality. Let's talk about the rise of Narendra Modi, the fall of Arvind Kejriwal, and the role of advertising in creating and dismantling these empires. Advertising isn't just about selling a product, it's about selling an idea, a vision, and more importantly, a promise. In politics, your message is everything. A strong campaign can create a wave of hope, ambition, and support that sweeps you into power. But here's a catch. Once you build that expectation, you become accountable for delivering on that promise. And if you fail to do so, your downfall can be just as swift. Let's start with Narendra Modi, who in 2014 ran one of the most successful political ad campaigns in India's history. The slogan, Ab Ki Baar Modi Sarkar, wasn't just catchy, it was everywhere. It dominated TV, print, radio, and more importantly, social media. Modi's campaign understood that to win over the masses, the message had to be simple, clear, and consistent. It had to offer something that the people wanted: hope, progress, and development. The campaign was built around the idea that Modi would bring vikas, development, and transform India into a global superpower. The promises were bold: jobs, infrastructure, eradicating corruption, and Achhe Din, better days for every citizen. According to a 2015 Pew Research study, 63% of Indians had faith in Modi's ability to deliver on these promises in his first term. But here's the problem. When you sell a dream this big, people expect results. Modi's first term was met with massive public support initially, but by 2019, dissatisfaction had started to creep in. The youth in particular were growing frustrated. A report by the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy stated that unemployment rose to 6.1% in 2019, the highest in 45 years. The job creation that was promised never materialized at the scale people expected. And then there is the demonetization decision in 2016, which was positioned as a bold step to eradicate black money and corruption. While the government initially hailed it as a success, the Reserve Bank of India reported that 99.3% of the demonetized currency returned to the banks, meaning the black money crackdown largely missed its target. Now let's look at the rise and fall of Arvind Kejriwal, who stormed into Indian politics with a radically different message. His Aam Aadmi Party emerged in 2013 as the voice of the common man, fighting against corruption and the political elite. His advertising was minimalistic but powerful. Kejriwal positioned himself as the anti-establishment underdog, fighting for transparency and justice. But as with all political advertising, when you promise too much, you become accountable. And Kejriwal's narrative started to unravel. Corruption scandals surfaced within his own party.
We thought this is a party with a difference. Your candidates were different. This is really low level.
Aam Aadmi Party is the most corrupt party. We had a lot of hope from them, but now people should trust them.
With several key AAP leaders facing accusations of graft, most recently Kejriwal himself faced legal battles that have led to his arrest in corruption cases. This is a prime example of how political advertising can backfire spectacularly. When you market yourself as one who will clean up the system, any misstep, any scandal becomes magnified. People feel betrayed when they realize that the promise of eradicating corruption was hollow. The higher you rise, the harder you fall. If you're finding this breakdown of political advertising fascinating, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We dive deep into the impact of media, advertising, and storytelling in politics and society. Drop a comment below. What do you think about promises made by politicians? Have they ever delivered? Let's discuss. So what's the lesson here? Whether you're selling a product or a political vision, when you use advertising to build an empire, you're making a promise, and with that promise comes accountability. This is where many political leaders stumble. When Modi promised massive economic reform and growth, he sparked hope in millions, but when those jobs didn't materialize, when the economy slowed down, people felt cheated. The same thing happened with Kejriwal. He promised a government free of corruption. And when that didn't happen, his supporters were left feeling betrayed. The biggest backlash in politics comes not just from failure, but from broken promises. Advertising is a double-edged sword. It can elevate you to unimaginable heights, or it can be the very tool that destroys you. Whether it's Modi's 2014 campaign that sold a vision of Achhe Din, or Kejriwal's anti-corruption crusade, when you overpromise and underdeliver, the fallout is brutal. So what can we learn from this? If you are in advertising, marketing or politics, remember that what you promise matters. Delivering on those promises is what keeps your empire standing. Because in the end, people don't just buy a message. They buy the future that message promises. The stories of Modi and Kejriwal show us that advertising is one of the most powerful tools in politics. It can build an empire in a single campaign, but if those promises aren't kept, the same ads that brought you to power can become the ones that fuel your downfall. In a world where perception is everything, trust is the most valuable currency. Modi, after 3 terms, continues to go strong, and there is still hope left in the country. There is still hope for Modi. There is still hope in the hearts and minds of people in the country. And there has been reforms. Some of these advertising fails means a lack of ability or lack of potential. What I am talking about is how the advertising campaign has backfired. Our Prime Minister has done tremendous things to this country and continues to do so, and inspiring a lot of change. But over advertising and the making bold promises in the past is still something that continues to be spoken about. So is this overshadowing all the great work that's been done by Modi? That's something for us to decide. Each one has a political opinion. My opinions are neither political. It is largely driven from how advertising has worked or misfired or failed when it comes to political promises. That is all that I'm trying to drive. I don't want people trolling me, being Modi supporters, whether I'm pro-Modi or anti-Modi. It's none of that. My standpoint is completely neutral. I don't want another case about Congress. Yes, Congress has done very similar things. They've also made some bold promises during elections, which was complete opposite or hypocritical in a lot of ways, in a lot of campaigns. So it is not that I've left any party out. There is every party. I just picked 2 of the biggest examples that I saw was very fit for this particular conversation, where advertising was seen as a very essential thing. And both of them, whether Modi or Kejriwal, has used advertising as a very integral part of their campaign, and they have done it really well. And like I said, there are accomplishments of both these parties and both these leaders, and none of them has been negated. I'm specifically speaking about the misfires that both these parties and both these leaders did. My political opinions are mine, and I don't need to disclose whether I'm pro or against. I am only speaking about advertising. If this breakdown made you think about the promises made by politicians and how they are sold to the public, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what a political promise that made or broke your trust. Until next time, stay informed and stay critical.